Okay, we're back again in building ticket management system. Now we are on the part 7. And in previous video, we already creating our dashboard page in here with summary of our ticket information. We can see the number of ticket, the last 12 month ticket, and the pie chart based on, we can select here, based on the product, category, product, and then a priority, yeah. And the next thing we want to build is a user management feature. And in this case, it will only able for the admin. So yeah, in this application, we will have two different user, admin and regular user. We just call it as a user. So if admin, they will able to see the user management here. But if user, they should not able to see that and should not able to open that page. Okay, first of all, let's we close it. Okay, before we start, I want to talk about this one, the MathBlazer installation. You know, when we try to use, where is it, layout, main layout. Okay, when we want to use a MathBlazer, there is several components we need to initialize. There is a mod theme provider, and then there is a mod pop of our provider. And actually, in the installation page, what we can have is like this. We can put all of this in our main layout, the treasure. No need to put on the specific page like we use in here. But the reason I use like this is I having an error when we try to do this. Okay, let's take example, yeah. The ticket treasure, we just cut it and we put in here, and I will show you what is the error. But before that, to be able to see the error, we need to go to the application setting and we set this one, detailed errors is true. Okay, make sure there is no typo here and save it, and let us start it. And this is error we get even we already add the matpop offer provider in our main layout, but we still getting the missing matpop offer provider. That's why in previous part I always try to put the matpop offer provider in every page we want to use, but for now we have a solution for that, so we can just close it. And what we can do, actually, we put the render mode here, render mode, and we should put the interactive server. And we can also do for the other, I think there is other let me see. Yeah, I think we have a dialog if we not using. Oh no, we only use the matpop offer provider for now, but actually we will use the digital. Okay, this one, this all three component, so we can just put it all, just remain these two, yeah. Okay, where is the main layout? I pin it. Okay, and put here, remove the comment and put all the render mode here. Okay, nice. By this, we don't need to use or recall this all three components again for each page we use. Just remove it. Where is it? Login processor, we don't have. Login, where is it? Login, okay, we don't have. I clean it a bit. Home, okay, we have. I remove it. Ticket details, okay, I have also. I remove it. Ticket create, okay, I have it. Okay, ticket treasure, we already removed that. Is there anything missing? Processor, no. Okay, should be fine. By this, there should be no error when we try to launch our project, and we can continue creating new method in our iAccount service. Okay, this one, there is several method we need to have new in here. Okay, we will have this three interface. This one is to getting the current user, that the authorized user, and next we will have a feature to remove the user. So if the user is removed, they should not able to do login in our system. And then there is a change password feature. We will create this one later, the change password request. And then we will also having a feature to upload our avatar. Currently we're still using the default avatar, if you remember. And then you also having a reset avatar feature here. It's basically a simple feature to delete our current avatar and just change it as our default avatar. There is modified needed in our previous function like a register user, get user. Okay, but maybe we talk about it after this. But first we need to have our change password request. Just having a new class. Okay, change password request. Okay, did not find new element. I think I got this. No. But we already have this. I'm not sure what is the error. Maybe later I try to find out what is the issue. But at least we can see the class is created, so should be fine. Now what we have here is a required, and then a property string current password. Okay, I don't want like this. I want like this, and then duplicate it. This one is a new password, and the next thing is a confirm new password. Okay, should be fine. Yeah, we can close it, and let's start having a implementation of our interface here. We can go to the one of this account service. Okay, and then just implement the interface. Nice. Maybe I clean up a bit. Let me see. Okay, we can start with the get current user. Okay, this one. This one we need to have injection to our HTTP context. Just have this one. HTTP context accessor. Is it correct? Yeah, it's correct. And then just make it this one. And we will have a new field. We need to put the comma here, don't forget. And what we have here is we will define the result first. Base response user response null. Okay, and by default not null but new base response user. Okay, by default the success is false, and then we try to get our current user from the HTTP context for current user HTTP context accessor, HTTP context user claims first of default, and then type. We try to get the email. Claim types is name. Okay, the name is email, and value. Okay, if current user is null, we just response is success is already false. Yeah, so we don't need this actually. But instead we will have an error message that showing the invalid user account, and just return immediately. Okay, I think this one because of asynchronous. Okay, correct. And then when we get our current user email in our claims, we need to get the whole information in our database. By this we can just go like this using a sign in manager. Oh wait, sign in manager, user manager, find by email. Okay, this one. Current user should be in an email, and if null we can just do like this lah. If user equals to null, yeah, we show same error. And if there is no issue when we checking the current user in HTTP context and in database, we can just return the true with the value of our user in database and just return it. Nice, one thing done, and we can just having a change password here. And this one we need to get our get current user first. Base response is equal to new base response, and by default is success is false. And let's having a user from our get current user. Okay, nice. And if user is no, we need to have an await here. Okay, nice. Okay, if success is false, then we just return the user. Can we do this? Oh no lah. But we can do like this. Response error message we get from the user. Error message. Okay, nice. And by this we can just return the response. The error message here is what we actually throw in here. And if we receive our user, if we get our user from the get current user, now we can do the change password. We can have a change password result from the with. We can use the sign in manager, user manager, change password asynchronous, and the parameter if the user current password from the request current password. What is it? Current password and new password. Not no, but request new password. Why this is error? Okay, we should having a user.value instead. And next thing, we will check if change password result is succeeded. Okay, thank you, autocomplete. If succeeded, we'll set the result, not result, but response is success is true. And there is one thing we need to have is a confirm account. If you remember at first time we have entities, where is it? User. Okay, account confirmed by default is false. So every time the user is logged in, it automatically redirect to the change password page. So they need to change the default password. And after they change the password, the account confirmed should be always true. That's why we need to set it in here. But for now, let me just ignore it first. And then else result error message, will get the error message from the result errors, just showing the first error we get here. I think should be this one, so there is no error when empty. And we can return the response. Let's have a confirm account with confirm account having a user value as a parameter, and let's create it. Generate method. Okay, nice. Okay, we have a new method here. This should be a private, yeah, because there is no other function or class should be access this one. If the not value, but let we set as a user. User account confirmed is false. Let we do thing here. Let we set the user account confirmed as true and save the information in database, unit of work, repository, user. Actually, we can use also user manager, but it's okay. Update user, and then let's save it. Okay, this one is just simply change the account confirmed to true if the current account confirm is false, just like this. Okay, nice. The change password service is done. We can minimize it. Okay, the next what we want to implement get current user done. Let me see get user. Oh yeah, we also need to modify this get user because we need to include also the role in here. So first, let we get all the roles. Unit of work, repository, identity, user, role. This is to see the relation between our user and the role. And then just list all, select, X a new, let me make like this. We get the X user ID, X role ID, and we need to have one one variable to showing the role name in here. But the column access in here is only the user ID and role ID. I think we cannot only these two. We cannot see the role name, but we need to show the role name instead of role ID in our UI rec. So by that, let we see our constants here. We will make a dictionary. Where is it? common, I think, yeah, constants. Okay, correct, this one. I pin it first, but let me see our data set. Where is data set? Not this one. Extension sheet. Yeah, let's pin it first. Okay, so later we need to add the role, new role in our data set, because currently there is no, I think I not create yet in here. So what we have here is we will have a public constant string role admin ID. Okay, just put like this, and this should be a new GUID. I think I generate it using any service. Okay, there is an online GUID generator. I just generate random and then copy. Nice. And then role user ID. And this one is new GUID also. Okay. And then we need to have role admin and role user. This one is name user. So we only have these two user in our application. So in case in future you want to add your own role, to make sure you also add the role constant in here, because we also do mapping in our role in here. We're using a static dictionary, public static read only dictionary of a string user roles, and new dictionary sing. By this, the first key is the role admin ID, and then the value should be a role admin. Okay, and the next is a role user ID and the role user. Okay, like this. Okay. What actually we use for this dictionary? So later on in account service, we will get the role ID in here, right? And if we want to get the role name, instead of we searching again in our database or user table, I use the constant here instead. So by this, when we get the role admin ID as a key, we will get the role admin value. That is this one, role admin as an admin. So the implementation could be quite easy. Where is it? Role equals to constants user roles, and just put the key of our role ID. By this, we should getting the value when the role ID is what? We get the value. The value is between these two, an admin or user. And then we will showing the roles in our get user response, which we don't have now, but that's okay. First, we will have a role equals to roles. First of default, user ID. I think not x because we already use x. User ID equals to x ID, and then we get the role. And then we also showing the account confirm from the x account confirm. Okay, nice. Now we need to have this both new property. Yeah, just generate property role, generate variable. Okay, yeah, correct. Nice. Now we can see it should be exist in here. Okay, now when we try to get the user, we should getting this new information about the role and if the account is confirmed or not. And I think we will have a delete feature later, so we should not showing all the user here. Where is it? Let me clean up a bit. Okay, should be like this. In here, we should showing only where the is delete. Where is it? Is deleted is false. Okay, but we don't have this one yet. Just create it. Generate variable is deleted. Generate property is deleted. Okay, yeah, cool. We should see this one in. Okay, we should this one in our entity of user. We have new column as a is deleted. By default is false, it's okay, and just save it. Now get user is complete. Let me see when register user, we should put a role in here because by default we don't have a role even in our register user request. Oh, we have a, oh, I already have, nice. But we not doing anything for that role. So what we have here, when the create a user is complete, and before we returning the value, let we do like this. If the result succeeded, what we have here is a return like this, but we will have an await sign in manager, user manager, add role. Where is it? Add to role asynchronous. User is come from this one, user and not password lah. Add role to asynchronous should accept the role. Okay, later we put the value of role here, and yeah, by this it's simply adding the role into this created account, and we just return it as success. And if false, I think we can just return copy, and the success is a false. This one should be true, and then the error message, there is a comma here. Error message is come from the result errors first or default description. Okay, should be fine now. Yeah, so whenever we register a new user, we should include also the role. We close it, and then next we will have a remove user. It's not actually removing the user, but instead we will hide it. So we will set is as is disabled true. So this user should not able to do login and not able to see in our user management. So first let's define the best response. Response is a new best response. Response is success is false, and we try to getting the user wait sign in manager, user manager, find by email asynchronous, and if user, where is it? User is not is but equals to null. If user is null, what we do is we response user not found. Let's give an what, yeah, like this lah. We show the email, yeah. We show that the user in parameter is not found from our database, and then return the response. And if user exists, we just set the user is deleted to true, and we need to update this. Result is await sign in manager, user manager, update asynchronous is the user. We update the user, and if result is not success, response error message result not result errors false or default, we getting the description. If the result of update asynchronous is not success, we will getting the error response, and we will showing to the user. But if success, yeah, just ignore it. So if so, then the response should be success, and return the response. Oh, this one don't forget to return also. Nice. Now by this, the user will having the column of is delete as a true, and should not able to log into our system. Actually, to prevent that, we need to modify our verify user. Where is it? Verify user. We have verify user. Okay, this one. And we not only checking when the user is null, but We also checking if the user is not null but is deleted is true. Okay, so just saying that the user is not found, we will showing this error to user when the user is deleted. Okay, remove user is done, verify user is done. Or again, reset avatar and upload avatar. I think we start with upload avatar first. Okay, I remove it like usual. Base response is a string, response is a string. Okay, string in here later will be our upload avatar file name. So the UI will able to update immediately after upload the avatar image. And then the response is success is false by default. And then we need to have a string previous avatar. If exists, we will delete the previous avatar. And first we need to check the current user. For current user, with get current user. Okay, if current user is success is false, result error message is come from the current user error message and just return immediately. Okay, we will also having the upload path, just put in here where upload path is from a path combine. Okay, we need to environment. I think we don't have yet. Yeah, we don't have. Just put here iWeb host environment. Web host environment is enough, and then we create and assign a field. Where is it? Okay, this one, environment web root path, and then uploads, and then avatar, and close it. So currently our let's minimize it and open it again. Our avatar is on this one, avatar, and we need to change this folder to avatars instead, because we will have a multiple avatar in here. And let me verify again, uploads, verify. Okay, correct. And then what we do here, if the image is not null, so we upload image in here. First, let me make sure if a directory exists. If directory exists, upload path, yeah. If this directory is not exist, okay, currently it actually exists, but maybe there is some problem that's causing this directory is exist when we deploy. So we just directory create directory. Okay, like this. Okay, I'm afraid it will take too long to this video, so I just copy and paste it here. What we do in here is actually almost same like we do in ticket upload, just different in here. We will have a previous avatar check from our current user, and we need to remove it first if exists. And yeah, if not exists, we can just ignore it. And after that, we will getting the file extension from the file name that we upload. And then we will generate again the file name, not using the actual file name that we upload, but instead we using the email in here as the file name. And then we will get the file extension from the uploaded file. And after that, we will save in our directory. So the file name should be test@gmail.com and then .gpg example. Yeah, something like that. Okay, we already saved to our directory, and then we need to update in our database also. And yeah, current user value avatar is from the file name, and then var update result using assign in manager, user manager, update asynchronous from the current user dot value, and then we will check here. Update result is, oh, we need to have an await. If update result succeeded, okay, response a success is true, and response value is a file name. Here is it, a file name. Okay, and is false, we will response errors, yeah, like usual, update results, errors, first default, no, first default description, and then we return the response. Nice. This is the function to upload the avatar, but there is this one we should return in here. Okay, nice. Yeah, because if image is null, then we just return this one, response is success is false, without any error message actually. Okay, and one more thing remaining for our service is a reset avatar. Okay, I think the function is almost same, yeah. I just copy from this and then paste here, but we don't have a previous avatar. Okay, this one should be asynchronous, response is successful. Okay, this one also should be not string, just base response as default. Oh, we still have a string previous avatar. And then we also need to, this one, remove it. I think we do removing the previous avatar after we get the current user. Okay, like this. Okay, after we get the current user, we check the previous avatar. If exists, yeah, in our directory, we will delete it. And after that, we set the current, current user value avatar is equals to actually like a avatar dot png, but let's having a constant for this. Where is it? Infrastructure common constant. Let's we have here a public constant string default avatar. Okay, so we can just revert from this one. Where is it? Account service constants dot default avatar, and then we need to update from database again. I think we can just copy from here, copy and paste here the value. Okay, we don't need to any value, and yeah, should be same. Let's see. Okay, we don't forget to return the response. Nice. This is the reset avatar function. So basically just remove any of uploaded avatar and just change it to default avatar that we have here. Okay, this is our default avatar. And actually, I forgot lah, because if the previous avatar is default, we will getting deleted our avatar here, but it should not able to delete. So we will have checking here. If current user value avatar not equals to constants of default avatar, after this one we can do removing the previous avatar, and actually can do also all of this one, because if the current is default avatar, what we need to delete it's already set to default avatar. So yeah, we only doing this if the current avatar is not default avatar. And when we try to upload, I think we're not doing checking also, right? Yeah, this one we need to have check also in here. Previous avatar. Okay, above that we will check if the current avatar is not default avatar. After that we can delete. If no, then we just ignore this function. Okay, now all seems the service is done. Wow, it take time a lot to creating this service because there is many function we create. And the next thing, we will update our data sheet. Okay, just close it. Nothing, close it. Okay, I already opened the data sheet. Okay, it's okay. Delete. For data sheet, you can download the resource in description and just copy below this one after set user. Okay, we set roles, and then we need to add the reference for our constants. And if you remember, in our database we actually already have the ASP.NET roles and ASP.NET user roles. The identity role is represent of our ASP.NET role table, and the identity user role is represent our ASP.NET user roles. So in here, what we do is we will add a new role. One is admin and one is a user. And then in the ASP.NET user roles in here, we will have to assign the current user we create in the user email, this one, to have the role as an admin. Okay, we assign here. And yeah, we can just have a new migration for this. Migration add role. Yeah, rows, and then let's try. Okay, done. We also have a new column in our ASP.NET user is delete, and this one all the required for our roles. And don't forget to do update database, so we're able to see the change in our database. Nice. Let me see roles. Okay, we can see the roles created and ASP.NET user roles. Yeah, we get our user ID related with the role ID here. This role ID should be the admin. Okay, correct. Nice. Okay, we start doing for the UI now. I can close it all. And then first, what we need to have is go to the program. And then to include the role, we need to have add roles. Okay. Identity role. Okay, we only need this to include the role. The next thing, we will have a new navigation menu, a new navigation link in our navbar menu to access our user management. I think we can just duplicate. But first, we need to have an authorized view. Okay, this one. But I don't need all of this. Okay, and add the reference. And make sure we select the roles of, can we use constants here? Cannot. Okay, just put the admin like this. And then just copy, not cut, to this one. So this component is only available when the user is authorized and the user is admin. And then the href is a user. And for the icon, I will use the user /gear. And then close it. Now we can create our user manager page. I think we can just create a new folder, user. And then first we will have a user.razor with capital U, don't forget. And as usual, you can always download the source code of the UI in description. I copy and paste it here. Okay, this is our user.razor page. And in here we have a page title. Okay, this style is gonna minimize it. And there is a button to add new user. And in here we showing the list of user as a grid. In here we do server rendering, like before we showing the ticket. And there is a several column in here. This one is account confirmed is basically boolean, true and false. But instead of showing a true or false in our UI, let's be showing as a yes and no. And then in here, in grid, we will also showing the button to removing our user from the database. And yeah, let's create a code for this one. First, we initialize the data grid. Mode data grid is from a get user response data grid. Okay, this one. And then we having a server reload for our grid rendering data. Private asynchronous task grid data get user response. And name it as a server reload with the data grid state get user response. Just put a state. And maybe we can define the add new user function, private asynchronous task, this one. Okay, nice. And the remove user, I duplicate it, put here, and it is having a parameter of cell context get user response. Cell context get user response user. Okay, nice. Now yeah, the error is gone. We need to implement this all function here. For adding new user, we will using a dialog for this one, not using this interface, but there is a pop-up model to have that having input for the email and role. So in here we just showing the pop-up for options, new dialog options, and we set the backdrop to false. Okay, what is this actually? Maybe I describe in Paint. Okay, this is our whole web. This is maybe a navigation, yeah, something. And the model will showing in here, not model, but dialog. So if we set the backdrop click is false, that means when we try to click the backdrop is the other area outside the dialog here. This is a dialog, yeah, full rectangle. When we try to click example in here or in here or yeah other, it should not closing the dialog. That's why we setting the backdrop click is false. By default it's true, so when we try to click other example in here, yeah, in here, it will closing the dialog. I don't want to do that because example we still creating an email and accidentally click outside, then it will close the dialog. That's why we need to set as a false. Okay, nice UI by the way. Give it a 100. Just close it. Okay, and now we will define a dialog. With the dialog service. Oh, this one we need to inject our dialog. Dialog is a MathPlacer component. Inject dialog service. Dialog service. Await dialog service. It will show asynchronous the UI. Currently we still not having an UI for that. Just let having a UI for the dialog. User register. Okay, and just add it. Okay, no need to put anything in here, just for to be able to call here user register. Why there is no? Okay, and we need to also giving the title add new user with the options we created above here, and then to getting the result with dialog result. And after we save a new user, we need to refresh our data grid. That's why if the result is cancelled is false. Cancelled is a clicking cancel button, yeah. If we clicking the cancel button should not refreshing the grid, but if we click the save button when creating a user, we should refresh the grid. Await data grid, reload server data. Add user done, not done actually, we still not complete the user register, but at least in here is done. Now is remove user. We need to inject JavaScript in here. Inject JS runtime, JS runtime. We're using JavaScript for showing the confirm button. So like are you sure want to delete this item? If yes, then we delete. If no, then we ignore. How to show that is just like this. Confirm with JS runtime invoke asynchronous. This one is boolean. Confirm. What the message? Yeah. Are you sure want to delete or remove lah? Remove this user. Okay, let me see if confirm, then we do the deleting. For result, I think we need to inject account service also. Account service. and in here await account service, remove user, and in here we getting the user email. And then if result is success, else we do what? In here we will having a snack bar. Do you know snack bar in MathBlazer? Snack bar is basically snack bar. Okay, this one. Okay, this is snack bar. Okay, like an alert pop up. We can showing it anywhere. I want to show the success snack bar like this. Whenever we successfully registering new user. So by that, we need to inject snack bar. Okay, and what we have here is snack bar add successfully remove user and with the severity of success. So the snack bar color is green, and then we will resetting our data grid, reload server data, and if false, I think we can just showing the error file it remove user error. Okay, maybe we giving the detail here. We have a detail from our result, error message. Nice. Now we complete removing the user. Next thing we will have having a showing the user data. Let me see the implementation in ticket for server reload. Okay, I want to pick this and then paste here. And for this one is get user response, and then get tickets. It should be a var just put at data account service get user. Okay, it's not asynchronous, so we can just like this, and data count data skip. This is the implementation of getting the get user from our service, and all the implementation is complete. We forgot to add the render mode. Is an interactive server, and also this page is only available for admin authorize. Okay, we need to add reference, and the roles is admin. Okay, yeah, should be fine now. Let we start seeing the change. Okay, I just log in and we able to see this new user, user navigation item. And if we click, we go to the user managements, and we able to see the email, current email, the role is admin, and the account confirm is actually still false for this. And we able to remove the user, but I don't want to do that in here. I think if we click, yeah, we able to see the confirm UI. I just cancel it, and let's continue creating the add new user here. Okay, you can get the user register from the description, and then let's we have a code. First I describe to you lah. This is a math dialog. You can see the math dialog component from a MathBlazer. Where is it? Dialog. This one. This is from math dialog. This is a simple dialog, but we can also have a form in here. Form dialog maybe. Oh, not this one. Is there a sample? Something like this lah. We can showing the field in here, and then we will able to do the any function in here, and in this case we will register a user. Okay, I can cancel it, and what we have here, this is the header, add new user, and then in dialog content we will having an alert, and then like as usual we will having errors in here to showing is any validation error, and we only have two fields in here, the email and the roles. For the password, we always setting the password is a default password. If you remember this one, need reset. And after user try to log in, they should change this default password immediately. And and this is the function to canceling the dialog. and this is function to register the user. Okay, let's start to complete this one by one. Okay, we will having an alert, and then string array of errors is come from this, and then we will have a cascading parameter for our math dialog. Private math dialog instance, math dialog. This one should be property. Okay, we need to field to store this email and a role dropdown property of string email and property of select role dropdown this. And the for element we're not getting from database, but if you remember, we're having a dictionary for this. This select item roles is come from the constants. Where is it? Constants. Oh, I'm missing the S. Constants. And I'm not sure why there is no reference to this one. So I think I need to add manually. Let me see using infrastructure.common. Is it fix this? Yeah, I'm not sure why. For using, I prefer to put very top like this, and then constants dot user roles we select and map it as a select item with the text come from value, and also value come from the value. We don't need the ID in here. Convert to list. Okay, the value is actually this one, admin and user. This one should be select item. Okay, nice. Now we need to having a function to register user here. Private asynchronous task or register user. Request is we need to have a new register user request. Okay, and the email come from email. Where is it? And the role come from role drop down list, the selected value. And then we need to have a validation. I take from this one. Okay, copy and paste here. It's faster. Add the reference. Okay, if it's valid, what we do here is we do result with account service and calling the register user. Where is it? Register user with the request. I'm not sure why the autocomplete is slow. Okay, if result is success, we will showing the snack bar here at register user success, and then the severity should be success, and we can close immediately using math dialog close. Okay, we define math dialog here, and else if anything error we can showing the filelet using our alert. Maybe we just showing the error message we get from the backend. Okay, all the function is complete. Then if you see in here there is a placeholder, but I'm not sure we already have yes, correct, we don't have it. So we will have a new parameter as a placeholder. New placeholder, and for this one should be come from placeholder instead of label. So by that we are able to use this one, placeholder role. And let's we start it. Okay, now in our user management we are able to add new user. There is a new dialog showing. We can just put test, maybe not test lah, user@gmail.com, and the role should be a user, and try to register. Now we have a new user, and let's have a admin@gmail.com. The role is admin, and yeah, now we are able to see. And I want to have a delete@gmail.com and having the admin, and I want to delete this one, remove user. Okay, and okay. Now we able to delete it. And let's try login. But first I want to copy the need reset password first. And then I log out. And let's put a user@gmail.com. Paste the password and login. Now we able to login as the user. And we not seeing this user management. And if we try to open it, okay, it should be error. Because, okay, it will go to the access denied, but we still not having the access denied. That's okay. And if we try to log in using the deleted@gmail.com, we should not able to log in using this account because it's already removed. Okay, login. Yeah, user is not found. Even if we check in our database, we already still having the delete, but we're not able to log in using that account. Okay. So actually there is many things we still need to have, like change password, upload avatar, and then prevent user to login when the account is not confirmed. But this video is already take too long. I think it's almost 1 hour. So better we separate to another part. So let's continue to another part after this. And before that, let me close all and commit this to part 7. Commit all. And then I need to push it. Okay, done. So see you in next part.